to do is show by the acts that we take that we're following the law, that we're following the facts. The prosecutions that you're talking about were brought last year. And the special prosecutor has said from the beginning that he thinks public interest requires a speedy trial, which I agree with.
Well, that is the notoriously stoic Attorney General Merrick Garland saying he can restore Republicans' faith in the Justice Department through a speedy trial of Donald Trump. Republicans might have a few things to say about that. Joining me now, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under George W. Bush, Tom Dupree. And Tom, as you and I have been talking, there's two parts of this, the political part, which we're going to hear Donald Trump talk about on the stump tonight, and the legal part. What I'm wondering is that if you're the Attorney General and you don't have a political motivation, why wouldn't you say, in the effort to make this appear non-political, we are going to wait until after the election to ensure that there's not even the appearance of political motivation here?
Well, I think the Attorney General may have misfired a bit here, Leland. From my perspective, he would have been better advised simply saying that this is in the hands of the courts, and I'm going to turn this over to the special prosecutor, and I'm not going to get involved, and I'm not going to comment on it. Because as you point out, the elephant in the room here is political. If they don't progress this trial fast and get a conviction before the election, everything disappears if Trump were to be elected. The moment he takes office, he can dismiss all of these federal charges. That's what Merrick Garland knows is going to happen. He knows he's up against the clock here. If Trump wins the election, the world changes. And so for that reason, he and the special prosecutor are pushing for a speedy trial. I just think the Attorney General would have been better advised not to make that particular comment himself publicly.
Yeah, what I can't figure out is he goes to such great pains always to say, we are independent, we're going to follow the law, this is all about, the law and the rules of the Justice Department, on and on and on, and then says the very things he says he's not going to say. I don't get it, other than to say that it feels political, even to somebody who's not political as I am.
It does. I mean, I totally get that. That's what his personal view is, but there's a difference between him having that view and him sharing that publicly with the nation. He should have steered clear. And look, I think the thing the Attorney General needs to convey here is that they are going to treat this prosecution just as they would the prosecution of any other criminal defendant in the system. You don't do it on an expedited basis. You don't do it on a slow walking basis. You treat the former president to the extent you can as you would any other defendant. You got to be neutral and play it fair. And I don't think he did that in that interview.
Does that matter? In a sense, in a court of law, and for that matter, is these kinds of comments things? We know President Trump's going to talk about it at his rally tonight. He does every time. Is it the kind of thing that his lawyers can argue when they go to the Supreme Court about the immunity cases and other cases?
I'm sure they will put that in their briefs kind of for atmospherics. Legally, I'm not sure that necessarily will change the outcome. But I totally get why the president's lawyers would make those sorts of comments part and parcel of everything they submit. Their whole argument here, Leland, is that this is political. These are fake charges. This is all politically driven. And now they're going to be able to point to public comments by the Attorney General that reinforce those themes and those arguments.
It's kind of bewildering why he would make those if there was another motivation, as you point out, very different than sort of how he's tried to portray these things. Tom, it's good to see you. Thank you very much. Back here in New Hampshire, we thank St. Anselm's College for the use of their beautiful campus. We'll spend the weekend out with the candidates on the trail and see you Monday. Here's Chris. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.